I never thought I'd be the kind of person who documented their own heartbreak. But when everything in your world starts falling apart, sometimes the only way to survive is to record the pieces, to remind yourself that you didn't imagine the pain, that it was real. It started 3 months ago. He was my everything. Ethan, charming, calm, the kind of man who made everyone feel seen. We'd been together for 5 years, and I thought marriage was the next step. But then, little things started to shift. He stopped saying good morning. He stopped kissing my forehead before leaving for work. He stopped being present, even when he was right in front of me. I told myself it was stress. Everyone has bad days. But bad days became bad weeks. So one night, I decided to record a video, just for me. Day 1, I whispered into my camera. Ethan's been distant lately. I don't know if it's me or us. That video became the first of many. A diary of confusion, pain, and truth I didn't yet see coming. I started noticing how often his phone buzzed, but he'd flip it face down. How he suddenly showered before dinner, something he never did. One night I asked, "Is there someone else?" He laughed. That cold, empty laugh that sounds like love dying. He said, "You're being dramatic." I smiled to keep the peace, but inside, something cracked open. I began recording every night. Day 12, I said to the camera, "Ethan told me I'm overthinking, but I swear something's wrong." I didn't know it then, but those videos would later become evidence, not for court, but for my own healing.
His late meetings turned into full nights away. He said the company was preparing for a big deal. But when I called his office, his coworker casually said, "Oh, Ethan left hours ago." That night, I didn't confront him. Instead, I followed him. He parked outside a cafe, not our usual one. He sat by the window with a woman. They laughed, shared a milkshake, and then she leaned over and kissed him. My hands shook as I filmed from my car, not to expose him, but because I needed proof that I wasn't crazy. Day 41, I whispered into my camera. "He's cheating," and I caught it on tape. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just stared at my reflection and realized how small I'd become trying to keep his love. 2 days later, I acted normal. I made him breakfast, kissed his cheek, smiled like I hadn't seen everything, because I wanted to see how far he'd go with his lies. That evening, I asked, "How was your meeting?" He replied, "Long, boring, you know how it is." My chest burned, but my voice stayed calm. I asked, "Did it taste better than usual?" He frowned. "What?" "The milkshake. The one you shared at Cafe Bloom." Silence. The color drained from his face. Then came the excuses. "She's just a friend. You misunderstood. It was a mistake." I didn't argue. I just said, "I know," and walked away. That night, I packed a bag. Not to leave, but to breathe, to think, to plan. Days passed without him calling. When he finally did, his voice was full of guilt and fake tears. He said, "I miss you." I replied, "You miss control." I watched my old videos, the ones where I was happy, naive, forgiving, and then the new ones, full of exhaustion, heartbreak, strength. It was like watching someone die and be reborn. That's when I decided to move out. I didn't tell him. I waited until he was at work, packed my life into boxes, and left the keys on the counter. I left a note that said, "Don't look for me. Look in the mirror."
The first few weeks alone were hard. I cried on the floor. I replayed every memory. I even rewatched our old videos. But slowly, something shifted. I began documenting healing. Day 72, I said. I smiled today without forcing it. Day 78, I said. I went to my favorite cafe. The air felt lighter. Day 83, I said. I'm learning that closure isn't something he gives. It's something I create. Then came karma. Quietly, beautifully. A mutual friend called me one night. "Did you hear about Ethan?" she asked. Apparently, the woman he cheated with cheated on him, with his boss. And when the company found out, both of them lost their jobs. I didn't laugh. I didn't celebrate. I just whispered, Day 90. Karma came on time. I uploaded my last video, a montage of my journey. From love to betrayal, from heartbreak to healing. It wasn't a story of revenge. It was proof that I survived. Now, when people ask about my story, I tell them it's not about him. It's about how I documented my pain and turned it into power. I never got closure from his apology. I got it from my reflection, from the videos I made in the dark when no one else was listening. from realizing that love shouldn't feel like waiting for a message that never comes. So if you're listening, if you're in pain, record it, not for them, but for you. Because one day you'll watch it and realize you survived the very thing you thought would destroy you.